Welcome to another episode of Oh Shit, I'm 40. This is your boy Gene Lott speaking, and we got a special episode today because we got my beautiful, lovely, sometimes I like to call her my old lady, Valerie Lott, with us today. How you doing, baby?
Hey, Mr. Lott.
All right. You know, I would naturally hit the clap button, but I can't find it right now. But it's all right. It's all good. So we're gonna do something a little different on this episode. We are actually it's just gonna be the two of us, and we're gonna have a conversation that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna get something out of. But before we begin, we have a tradition here on All Shit I'm 40, which is basically we gotta tell you what we're drinking. So tonight I made us a special cocktail. Made with Tito's. I like to call it Transfusion Illusion. All right. So it's purple. All right. No, I'm not a Q.
One of my favorite colors.
Yes, it is. It is. And it is made with Tito's, and it's made with this transfusion mix with grape juice and ginger ale, and it is quite tasty. All right. So we're gonna be sipping on that all day. All right. So, babe, do you just want to introduce yourself real quick and just tell the world who you are and what do you do during the day when I'm not bugging you?
Hello. So I am Valerie Lott, the wife of Eugene Lott. We've been married for 14 years. And what I do during the day, my career, I am a clinical school social worker out in these D.C. streets trying to help students, help them grow, learn, process feelings, coping skills, all of that good stuff. So, I mean, I love what I do. I've been doing it for about 14 years since we've been married. And I'm a mother of 3 beautiful young ladies. We have Dylan, who's 11, Sarah, who's 6, and our baby Raylan, who's 8 months old.
Awesome. All right, just a few technical things, baby. This is the only time you're going to hear the mic move. Move the mic a little bit closer to you because you're going a little bit in and out. When you're talking, you're going back and forth.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Ooh, getting nasty. Not going to tell you what it looks like when you're moving back and forth. But anyway.
What?
So tonight's episode is going to be about, I think we named it Seasoned Parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the name of the show is All Shit I'm 40. And believe it or not, we are 2 40-year-olds, and we have a 8-month-old daughter.
Oh, shit, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. And what we just wanted to share tonight is just the different things being older parents. Can we say that? Or what did the doctor say? Geriatric for you?
Absolutely not. I do not subscribe to that title. They call it advanced maternal age.
Advanced maternal age, yes. Mm-hmm. So I guess we got to go back and actually, when all of this happened, see, it was COVID. And we did a lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Did some traveling. Vegas, a whole bunch of dates. Yeah, we were on tour. We was on them Fuck You Kids tour. Fuck Them Kids tour.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you know, we had our dates. We was going out. You know, we was just living that life, living that COVID-free life.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying one another, dating each other.
Exactly. And I would have to say one day I was just relaxing in the basement and got a text message from the wife. I think it was a text message or you yelled down the steps. So I think it was a text message. And it was, you need to go to CVS. I was like, for what? A pregnancy test. Now, mind you, I'm sitting here like, man, my pull-out game good. You know, I don't know what happened. You know, I don't know what happened. That's bullshit right there.
Right.
You know, so I was like, oh shit, I don't even remember this happening. So went to CVS, and what do you know? So she proceeds to call a good friend of hers, who's a wife of one of our other hosts of this podcast. She proceeds to bring over 4 of them.
Hey, Ferd.
And all of them say, pregnant.
Right.
So I'm sitting here, and this is just my point of view. I'm pinching myself. I'm feeling like a high schooler that just got his girlfriend pregnant, and I'm about to graduate, and I'm thinking about my future. And I actually had to slap myself, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm married. You know, and we're going to have a real conversation. I actually asked the wife, I said, well, what you want to do? And she's sitting over there crying in the corner.
Crying because I felt like I was a 15-year-old student with no job, no prospects of who the father is or anything. I was crying. I was really, really like shocked.
It was crazy. So I'm sitting here with a blank face, like,
Right.
what you want to do? She like, nigga, it's a little bit too late, you know. And I was like, yeah, it is too late for Plan B. Oof. You know, but it was crazy because during that time we had a lot of transitions. We were selling our house, we were about to move and everything, and there was a lot of different things going on at the same time. And then, boop, you're pregnant. You know, so I just want to delve into that a little bit and, you know, tell me your side of the story and how you were feeling, you know, before Miss Raylan got here.
Right. Well, let's go back a couple of months. So our middle child is 6.
Yep.
And full disclosure, you know, we're planners. And in terms of birth control, I had an IUD. And so from that, I had an IUD from our firstborn, Dylan 11, took it out, got pregnant, Sarai.
Planned.
Right. So they're like 5 years apart.
Babies.
Right.
Yep.
5 years apart. And so when Sarai turned 5, I told my doctor, because I started having complications with the IUD, and I knew it was up at 5 years. And so when I took the IUD out with my doctor, Dr. Kennedy, love her so much.
Shout out to Dr. Kennedy.
Right. She was like, okay, so what you going to do? Are you have another one in? And I just really felt like I wanted to give my body time. I felt like I had a lot of complications with it, a lot of side effects to it. So I was like, I need to have my body time.
Because well, not we, I wasn't pregnant, but we, because I was there, had some hard pregnancies.
Right. Absolutely. And so, but we also know that I'm still in my years that I can get pregnant.
Fertile Myrtle.
Right. But honestly, when even Dr. Kennedy, when she took my IUD out, she actually called you because I think you were at work or something.
Yeah,
she was like, I was telling her, I said, hey, I want him to get a surgery. And we were talking about getting a surgery. And she was like, well, I think that'll be a great option if you guys are done having kids, because I knew I didn't want to get my tubes tied because, once again, going back to, I have like complicated pregnancies. And for the world to know, because once again, I feel like this is our testimony, is that I was diagnosed with incompetent cervix. And so with competent cervix, meaning when you have a baby and the farther along you carry it, you can actually be in jeopardy of losing the baby because your cervix starts opening real early. And that's how it began. And when we had Dylan, we actually miscarried the twin back in 2011. And so from that miscarry, the twin, she was called vanishing twin. And so from that, when we started carrying her about 6 months, that's when my cervix started shortening.
Right.
So by that time, I could not get the cerclage because I was too far along.
So, well, real quick, man, can we dumb it down for the brothers?
What you mean?
Guys, basically, incompetent cervix, it don't mean it don't work. I hate the word incompetent.
I know.
It's basically just short.
Right.
I didn't do anything to it.
Right. So
because the doctors was like, God damn, man, she back in here again. She's pregnant. No,
shut up.
You know, that incompetent cervix, man. What you doing?
Right. No, so like incompetent cervix just meaning that, you know, your cervix is supposed to close to keep your baby, you know, and then when you're about to have labor, it opens back up.
Well, hers don't do that.
Well, it closes.
It does it, but it's like, how they describe it?
It closes but can open up. So I can be walking down the street and the baby
and
fall
just
out.
Fall out like
no, I'm just playing. Not
I had the most nastiest picture in my head.
No. So once again, I'm going back to that. So I had to be on bed rest with Dylan for 2.5 months. I actually had her early at 6 weeks. So I had to get shots every week, 20 shots that stung like hell. Try to, you know, keep her, but she was so nosy. We already knew that she was going to be nosy coming out the womb because she would have come 6 weeks. She probably listens to us now.
Right.
So 6 weeks, I had to deliver her. She was a preemie, but thank God she was healthy still. She just was
3 pounds 14 ounces.
Exactly. That's a blessing. And she stayed in NICU for 18 days, and she's been with us ever since. So from that, once again, when we decided to get pregnant with Sarai, I already knew that we had to be proactive. My doctor was like, hey, we're just going to go ahead at a certain time when you're pregnant. We're going to go ahead and do the cerclage. So once again, going into that surgery, getting my cervix fixed, and I had to continue to get monitored just to make sure that the cervix is still closed with the stitch.
Now, funny story about that stitch. So, my middle daughter was born during March Madness, and we went to the hospital to get the stitch and everything out. And they couldn't get. Well, first, no. Remember, we had to go to the small doctor's office at Kaiser.
Yes, we had to go to Kaiser,
and they couldn't get it out.
They couldn't.
And I was in the room, and for some reason, like I could look at a whole bunch of stuff. I got a real strong stomach, but that day when they couldn't get the stitch out, the room was hot. The walls were caving in. My wife's legs were up in the air, and I'm only used to seeing my wife's legs.
That's how I got into this trouble. No,
I'm only used to seeing her leg, me put her legs up. Right? She got her legs up on the doctor like she changing oil.
Right.
And she was like, I can't get it out.
Right.
And I'm like, man.
She said she did her job because it was did what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to stay.
Oh man, they put that stitch in that job.
So the
you had a good summer because you weren't on bed rest. You had your summer dress on. You was flowing. Your skin was popping. You know what I'm saying? Had the hammies out, all that.
Stop it. So anyway, so that,
finish up. Go back to the hospital.
Going back to the hospital, they took the stitch out and induced me. And we had her on March 18th.
When Michigan was playing.
Absolutely.
And the head doctor came in there and was like, look, I need to see this game.
Right. She went to Michigan.
Right. She was like, hurry up. So then, bam, Sarai was born.
Right. So Sarai was born once again. So now we are parents of two beautiful, young ladies, young girls. And so everything was good. I feel like we found our balance. Dylan was like 4 or 5 at the time. She was in transition into kindergarten. We had a newborn. So, we were living life. And so when Sarai got older, I think we had a conversation like, we wanted to adopt. I always say I want to adopt a little chocolate boy from Southeast DC.
Because all I make is girls.
Exactly. You are a total girl dad.
But I didn't want to believe it at the time.
Right. All X chromosomes in you. So we were like, all right, bet. So we're going to adopt a little boy, but we're going to wait a little while.
Yep.
And then, going fast forward, for me getting out the IUD, that means it's open season. If I don't do anything, then I can possibly get pregnant. But in my mind, I don't know. I just was like, yo, we good, And
for a couple of times, and we're married and we're honest, we were using protection.
Yes, we were. And it was COVID, but I was like, all right, Jean, what you going to do? You going to go ahead and get the procedure done? But we still just was loving life and just loving each other. And I don't know. And I remember my girls, my fantasy football wives, shout out to them. We were talking because we were at Erica's baby shower, Erica and Terrence's baby shower. And I remember they were like, you playing with fire. Because I told them, hey, I'm no longer on birth control. They said, so what you doing? I said, well, you're going to get the surgery. And they were like, you playing. And I was like, I'm good. And I remember Brick House, Tiffany, so saying, all right, we about to see you back here at the baby shower, next year. And I was so in denial. I just thought it would not happen to me. I thought we did the pull out method if we didn't use condoms and all of that.
Look, we had that jump down packed.
Well, we didn't, but
I still don't remember what happened.
Don't remember. We absolutely do not remember because I think also with COVID, and for some people it really kind of separated or divided a couple, but I feel like it brought us closer together. We definitely were able to redefine who we are to each other.
We were both working from home.
Absolutely. I was working out, going crazy, 5-6 miles a day. I lost about 30 pounds. So I was feeling myself, and I guess you were feeling me too.
Yeah, I was feeling you. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. Here we go. I need you to go get a test for CVS. I got bars. But anyway, so, and that happened. And so when going, in hindsight, once again, I said I was crying because all of my friends, everybody know I'm a planner. And then I had to realize that it's not always in your plan. But I had a problem with that. I was really struggling. I felt like, I should have been more careful. Even being married, even having a career, even as, our marriage is the best it has ever been. And I still felt like, wow.
Because I'm going to tell y'all, she was mad at me for about, let's see, we moved in December 2021. Yeah. She ain't really stopped being mad at me till about March.
I don't even know if it was March. Probably was about June.
Damn.
No, I'm playing.
Damn. Man, she was mad.
But no, I also was mad at myself. But
took it out on me. That's a whole nother topic.
Boy, stop. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Anyway, so once again, like I said, I'm a planner. So I was like, I do not believe I'm pregnant. What I'm going to do? Like, how am I going to balance
Tell them what you said.
taking care of three?
It better be a boy.
Oh, we're going back to that. So I'm like, yeah, listen. If I'm going to be pregnant with the third, it gotta be my boy. Like,
and we said we didn't know because we planned the two girls.
Right, we planned them to a T.
And we were sober for the most part.
Probably not. I don't know, but go ahead.
But with this one, I was like, all right, liquor was involved, and we were out here partying around. And I said, that's the same way I got here, and my dad had two girls.
Right, that was your philosophy.
That was my philosophy.
Theory.
I said,
that hey,
I'm
my
just
dad
like my old
had
man.
two older girls. The last one gonna be a boy.
The last one gonna be the boy.
So in my mind, I was like, bet, okay, we got our boy. He's gonna have his boy, because everyone knows like Gene is such a wonderful model of a black male. And I just was like, oh, he's gonna have his boy to carry along and set that standard, and just go to football games and practice and things of that nature, and just groom this young man up. And so I was so like, all right, bet it's a boy. Everyone's saying, I hope it's a boy, hope it's a boy. And then, you know, because I am a seasoned, I was 38 at the time, or 39. I was 38, about to turn 39.
38, about to turn 39.
Yes, and I had to take the test for just to check to see, you know, in terms of any
DNA jump.
DNA, as well as just to see if they had any disabilities or anything of that nature. And so they check for Down syndrome and things.
We'll sit on the couch. I remember
Right.
that day.
And
was
so
it a TV
the
room?
doctor was like, hey, do you want to get tested for your for the sex of the baby too? I was like, yes, let's
Hell
do it.
yeah.
So anyway, they took the test. I think it took about maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you kept bugging me. You get anything yet? You get anything yet?
No. Why
I was
would
bugging
ask
you.
Right. I'm the policy holder, fool. I'm the one who would get the information. Anyway, so the Kaiser sent the message, alert. So anyone that has Kaiser know that, you know, they have test results. So I'm sweating. I'm like, whew.
I don't want to see it.
Right. And so I saw, you know, checked off, thank God, all the normalcy in terms of no.
Babe was
Down
normal. That was the
syndrome.
most important
Everything
thing.
is
She was
health.
good.
Absolutely. And then I saw no Y chromosome detected.
Boy, she melted.
I was like, boo.
She did the body shake and everything. I'm sitting here. I'm
Not
like,
the body shape. No,
I was
this
like, all right, full disclosure. For 2 seconds, I was like, damn. You know, 2 seconds I was like that. But then I was like, I'm going to have a healthy baby girl. Because like I always tell myself, and which is true, I'm going to be taking care of the rest of my life. As much as me and my oldest butt heads right now, I'm going to be taking care of the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. Right.
that's when we found out another girl was coming into the mix.
But I was in denial, right?
Yeah.
Because understand this, even before we even got pregnant and I was thinking about having another baby or adopting, I had a picture of a little boy on my phone. I text my friends, say, if I was to have another child, this is what my boy would look like. So I was just so, once again, planning. If I was to have another child, I'm going to have this boy. And so when I saw that it was a girl, you know, I know you said for 2 seconds you were kind of like, okay, I'm over it. And for me, I wanted the boy for you. Like, I just feel like, you know, while I think you are a wonderful dad to our girls, it's just something about that dad and son connection. And I also wanted to feel how it would be to raise a young man. And so
You really want to go through that? You busting that room, got Jet magazines everywhere.
I mean,
got to take a black light.
I mean, that's what you're for. You're going to go in there and talk about,
Look
you
at the
know, his
ceiling.
body parts and all of that. Not look at the ceiling. Don't have a black light on the sheets.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
What the hell?
But no, so I really wanted, because, you know, at that time, a lot of your friends were having boys.
I know everybody in that was having a boy.
Everybody was having a boy. I'm like, wow.
God
You know? But then I look back and I feel so guilty because I was so focused on the wrong things.
Right.
I had to think about, at the season age that I was at 38, that my baby could have had a lot of complications, right? And so I'm worried about the sex of the child, but let's talk about how this baby is healthy and thriving in my womb, right? And so that's why I was like, I need to check myself. But I had to sit with those feelings, though, because your feelings are your feelings. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you should be just healthy that you can have kids. Absolutely right, you know? But in hindsight, I was being selfish. And once again, I could not learn to pivot from my plan. And I had to realize that it's not in my plan, it's in God's plan.
Exactly.
And He already knows the beginning, the end, and our blueprint. And so understanding that, I had to go, definitely went to therapy and just had to understand that, God, if you allow this to happen, it's for a purpose.
So great transition. We're going to fast forward a little bit. Whereas we have Raylan, you had Raylan.
Yes.
Had her a little bit on time for the most part.
Yeah.
Because she had to come out, basically. She was ready to come out. So she came out 5 pounds, 12 ounces. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, 5 pounds, 12 ounces at night. We had little children. For some reason, we got little ass children. But at night, and had to wear a mask. That whole COVID thing was crazy.
Yo,
it was
labor with a mask, pushing like crazy.
Yeah, and it, with a doctor playing music and
Right.
taking out the stitches.
Right.
But the baby gets here. Happy ever after. No, because then you had to deal with the what's the scientific word for it? Postpartum. Right. That's something you want to get into.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Which if it was my first time ever seeing it, because I don't know. Do you think you had it with our first two?
Well, listen, let's get back to 2011 in terms of having Dylan. So still grieving the loss of her twin.
Right.
Thank God she still was healthy, but new parent dealing with a preemie, going there every day and not being able to leave with your child is a lot. And for those parents who have dealt with having a premature baby, know what I'm feeling. Typically it's not on the movies where you have the baby and then you're able to come home with the baby. The dad rolls the mom and the baby out and go in the car and they drive away happy ever after. That wasn't my story for Dylan. So once again, having her, she was in the NICU. I'm having to leave my baby in the hospital and I had to go home. 11 days later, my dad passed away. Remember?
Yeah.
So with that, dealing with being new, planning a funeral, 11 days postpartum. So I definitely dealt with depression there too. But this time around, I don't know. I think it was harder because once again, I'm up here saying, hey, we were good. We had 2 kids. I'm about to be 40 soon.
No more daycare.
Right. Like we didn't have to worry about daycare. We had before and after care. That was like little chump change. Now dealing with daycare, middle of the night, breastfeeding, like all of that, all those things, those worries and anxiety reared its head again.
But to be honest, this time around, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're seasoned parents. It didn't feel as bad as it felt with Dylan.
For you.
Or even Sarah. No. Because we'll get into that too. That might be another episode when you come in. Because she says, with our second child, I was non-existent. Like I was gone.
Not non-existent. No, I just felt like you weren't attached or getting connected. And I don't know, I think you probably just was trying to just make sure that Dylan was okay because now she's no longer the only child.
Right.
But I did feel like at some time that you had to grow to connect to Sarai. I know that's your buddy now. But right in the beginning, I felt like you kind of just was like, yeah, of course you would stay up and feed her a bottle or change her if I wasn't breastfeeding her. But I don't know. I just felt like a short period of time. I wouldn't say like, the whole when she was like before, a year come out that you was just like, oh no, that's not my kid. I'm not dealing with her. No, I just felt like you weren't connecting with her. But now you're connected, definitely.
So going back to Dylan and going to from my point of view as a man, and then to now being 40, when Dylan was born. That was during a time period where I was always internalizing. Everything was internalized. So I knew I had a daughter that was in the NICU, but I also knew like I had a job and stuff that I had to do. So immediately I went into the phase of, all right, gotta support my family. Gotta support my family. And I was there going to the NICU and stuff, but a lot of times I was at work, and Val was still off and stuff during the day. And that was before baby leave, which we'll talk about that too, because I think I only stayed home like 2 days.
Right, maybe a week.
Maybe a week at that, which I had to use my PTO.
Right.
We are live at our house, and one of the children has just supposed to be asleep, but actually came over here. We'll be quiet until she gets. There you go. We're giving it to y'all live. Right. Giving it to y'all live.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Close the door. But actually, my mindset, as I think back to those years, my mindset was like so weird, like different,
Tell me more about that.
She putting on her clinical hat right now. So, being married to a wife that does this for a living, sometimes you got to tell them, get the fuck out my head.
No, I just feel like sometimes you have to express yourself.
Yeah, I've gotten better with expressing myself. Yeah, but no, my mindset was like totally weird. Like we talked about this. I used to get jealous of you and the baby sometimes.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal.
But which led to sometimes destructive things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I used to get jealous because I was like, damn, she don't spend no time with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But my mindset was like so totally just different. And you could tell. I mean, how old were we? We were what, 20?
28.
28? Mm-hmm. 28 when she was born?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
28. And then got a little older when Sarah was born. Mm-hmm. And when Sarah was born,
32,
we were
33.
32, 33, And now we're 40. Mm-hmm. With this, she's not newborn, but with this thriving infant.
Be 9 months in.
Yeah. But I see the difference in how I was from there to now. Mm-hmm. Going back to it, seasoned parents. Yeah. Because we made those mistakes earlier. Now it's like, it was almost like riding a bike, even though we threw away everything. We thought we was done having kids.
Done.
Yes, I did get the vasectomy. It was the easiest 30 minutes.
Right, so let's get back to that.
We're not going to talk deep about the vasectomy because that's a show with the guys.
Oh, that's fine. But just know that we are not having any more babies because you got it done and followed up, and we're good.
60 times.
Uh-huh.
Analyzed.
Okay. All right, next. Go ahead.
60 times, the analyzation. So, like, I wouldn't say struggles right now, but let's go back and forth. What was our adjustment in having a baby?
I think just adjustment of starting all over. Like we had at 11, 10, and I guess, what was she, 5 then? Mm-hmm. A 10 and 5-year-old. And the 5-year-old was in kindergarten. She was self-sufficient. Our middle child is very self-sufficient and independent. And so having to now, wake up in the middle of the night, breastfeed.
Well, I don't know. She sleeps good now.
She does.
From 7:30 to 5:30 in the morning.
Well, I mean, that's dope. But in the beginning, she did not do that. And so I think just starting over.
Shout out to Snoop.
Right. Just starting over. And then once again, like we said, going back to COVID, we were dating again. Yeah. We were really in tune. I just felt like, while kids are a blessing, they can put a wedge into a relationship.
Which let's get on that right there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I would say, even I think we kind of learn how to navigate our relationship now.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the kids.
Yeah.
But I would say, with going back to number one, that was something we struggled with as new parents.
Yeah.
And then going to number two, that's right. I think we still kind of struggle with it, but we were figuring it out. All right, we can balance ourselves. Right. We can not forget about each other.
But now we're outnumbered.
Yeah. Oh man, we definitely
we're outnumbered now with number 3. But no, honestly,
that means we got to bring a third party in here.
Oh, sorry. Okay. But anyway, but Dylan's older now, so she's definitely self-sufficient and she's helper, and as well as Sarai. And so that's another thing that is a blessing because now we have 2 extra little hands and helpers.
When they want to help. Right. We do got the preteen.
We do have the preteen. That's egocentric. It's all about her. But no, honestly.
She loves her daughter. I said daughter. Lord Jesus Christ.
She loves her baby sister.
She loves her baby sister.
But she also is on her own tip. And I understand that's typically preteen behavior, but they do help out. So we also have to think about that as well.
Right.
And our family is definitely complete.
Definitely.
But I think just in terms of, I always look towards the future, and I just want to make sure that I am well and thriving. To see Raylan, go through her milestones,
Right.
And I was like, oh man, I'll be like 57, 58 when
so
she's graduating from high school.
That's our next conversation that we always talk about is how old we will be when Raylan grows up. And I think that was part of the sadness, kind of like on both our ends, because we was like, damn, we're going to be old
right
when Raylan gets of age.
Right.
And it's a hard thing to think about. And that's one of the things, you think about as you turn 40. Because I always think of 40 as you done climbed that hill, and you're practically on top of the hill, and now it's down.
Nah, man. And I think that's where you and I differ. Like, I know when you
it's a
turn
good
40,
down, because it takes a long time to climb up.
But,
It's going to take a long time to climb down.
We're not at the top yet. We're on the side. We definitely not at the bottom, but we're on the side. I don't feel like we're downhill.
I don't feel like I'm at the bottom either.
Right. But what I think you look at 40 as, I know you always think it's older, but I don't see it
as older, but I see it as, and we get into a whole other conversation. We're seasoned parents, damn it. But I see 40 as, it's the midpoint. Technically it is the midpoint.
50 is the midpoint.
Man, fuck. I don't know. I don't think 50 is the midpoint, to be honest with you.
40 is the midpoint?
I say 40 is like the midpoint. Because the way I look at it, 20s and 30s, 50s and 60s, 70s, you just thanking God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 40s, that midpoint.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. So that's why I always equate it to like a big hill. When you're 18, you just got to the bottom of the hill. You got to the foot of the hill. From 18 to 20, you're taking those steps. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's how I look at it.
No, but what I would say in terms of being seasoned parents, I think we do have a whole village, because we have a lot of friends who actually had babies 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41.
And that's why you should tell Val, we ain't the only ones.
We're definitely not the only ones. We are
all
not
of us
the
gonna
only
be
ones.
old and crippled and have these children.
Crippled. I will not be. No, I will not. I'm going to be that fly mom. Don't play with me. But anyway, so I definitely look at that. I just want to make sure that she has our best years as well.
Right.
And that's what I want to do.
Staying healthy.
Absolutely.
Staying healthy mentally. But besides physically, but staying healthy so we can
mentally,
be there
emotionally.
for them.
Absolutely. And once again, we blessing them. We have their own built-in best friends.
Right.
With Dylan, Sarai, and Raylan.
And that's something we always preach. Like, look, when we long and gone from here, that's all y'all got.
Yeah.
You got your sister.
Take care of each other.
Right.
Take care
and
of
for the
each
most
other.
part, they love each other. Raylan loves everybody.
She does. And they absolutely adore their little sister. So we have to look at that as a blessing as well. They are built-in best friends. I pray that they continue to stay, and we foster that connection, that they stay close, that they just, when life happens, they are there for each other, support one another.
Right.
And so she'll be fine. Even if we are gone, she'll still have her 2 older sisters to hold her down.
Look, Val tearing up right now. Must be the vodka.
No, it's also these hormones.
Yeah, it is the hormones. But that is something, like I said, that's something I always think about. And look, every show we do, we always think of other topics for other shows. But you start thinking about your life and your mortality.
Yeah.
When I look at my kids, that's what I think about. It's like, damn, it's like, what do I want to leave for them? Not even talking financially, but it's like, what type of legacy I want to leave for them?
Yeah.
Like, how do I want them to remember me? You know what I mean? It's these things that you think about when you look at your kids. And like I said, it's another thing. When you turn 40, you're like, man, I'm not going to be here forever. You know what I mean? And it's like, it makes you want to enjoy life even more and enjoy the kids even more and stuff. That's why I made the moves I made.
Yeah. Thanks.
To be able to be somewhere and to do what we're doing right now in the comfort of our table right here, while they're sleeping. But this has been like an awesome conversation. We're not going to end it just yet, because I feel like you got a couple more points on seasoned parenting.
Yeah, and I have a question for you, Mr. Lott. But no,
All right,
and I know
Mrs.
this is
White.
another topic you might talk about, like just the pressure of being a parent of three girls. What are your thoughts about, being a parent, a father of three girls?
I have a big example to uphold. And I think about I got 3 weddings to pay for.
Right.
And I think about I got 3 knuckleheads I got to scare off. But then I also think about that I may not physically have any sons of my own, but hopefully God will bless me with 3 sons that my daughters will marry. You know, and I got my nephew. Shout out to Zoe. That's my homie, but and my other nephews, Tyler, Zach, everybody, Aaron, who's an older nephew. Can't look at him as a son. That's a grown ass man.
Right.
I got a lot of nephews, but yeah, that's what I think about. But the main thing I think about is making sure I leave a good legacy for them. Like I hope my daughters love me like I love my parents, and how I talk about my parents. So I hope that. What about you? Let me reverse that question.
I mean, man, I feel pressured because it's 3 girls and I'm a woman. So once again, I know that everything I do, everything I say, they're looking.
Yeah.
I am the example of what a woman is and how they're going to navigate this world. So I do feel pressured to be on for them. But once again, I had to realize that I also want them to see me as not perfect because I'm not. So just trying to create a balance for them, just pouring into them self-esteem and confidence because oftentimes, the world is already going to give them that in terms of having them doubt themselves. So as a woman, I have my own doubts and insecurities. I want to continue to just pour into them and just let them know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Because we got 3 beautiful babies.
They are beautiful.
3 beautiful babies.
They are.
All that hair.
Oh, Lord. That's the pressure.
Eyelashes.
Listen,
Eyebrows.
this hair.
They got them all from their daddy.
Listen, one of them going to get number 1. I'm tired of doing this hair. But now I'm playing thick, luscious
I told you,
hair.
we can cut the hair. I got
we
the
are
clippers.
not cutting their hair. Stop it.
We can cut the hair.
Stop
Let's
it.
go G.I. Jane.
No, we're not. Absolutely not. But no, that's
You did
pressure.
cut hair out of frustration.
Shut up. Don't be.
God damn it.
Listen, that is a lot. But once again, I often look and think about me having 3 girls. Like, I'm a whole girl mom, and I absolutely love it. I love the relationship that I have with them. We cut up, we have fun. Even, I work around teams, so I'm definitely, I feel like I'm time enough for them, especially our little preteen. But just making sure that they know their worth. I think that's very important for our young ladies to know. I mean, males too, but once again, we don't have any sons. But just letting them know their worth. Right. Listen, know their worth. Know that just every guy who say that you're pretty, you like my daddy told me I'm pretty. So letting them know they are fearfully, once again, and wonderfully made, and they can do wonderful, excellent things.
Right.
And just to make sure that they are positive, they're kind to people. They have that confidence. They're not scared to take risks. I think it's important for us to continue to instill that into our young ladies.
Definitely. Oh, I love my daughters. But they get on my nerves sometimes. They get on my nerves.
How they on your nerves? They call me every 5 minutes. I'm like, Dad, you got a father? And ladies, I think moms, you can hear me. Like, listen, I'm chilling. And who the first thing they say? Mom. I'm like, yo, you got your father right there. Like, seriously.
Your mom.
Right.
Your mom.
That's pressure. Leave me alone. I just thought about it, yo. I'm around kids all day long.
But that's your choosing. I told you.
What
I was
do
like,
you-
what you going to do? I was like, what you going to do?
What you mean?
I told you. You going to stay at the school?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
See?
Well, listen. You know that's
That's
my
your passion,
That
though.
is my passion.
That's your
Working
passion.
with teens. A lot of people say they can't rock with teens. Listen, give me teens all day. I absolutely love that population.
So
I love serving.
another question off of it. Do you think that helps your seasoned parenting?
Oh, absolutely.
It keeps you hip.
It does. I feel like they call me OG Lott, in the streets.
Right.
I definitely feel like it definitely helps me. And also how I social work, how I work and engage with my students, I always look at them like, how do I want my kids, my own kids that I birthed, to be treated? Mm-hmm. And I treat them with respect. I treat them with love. I just wrap my arms around them. And so I think it really helps me to know that. And it's unfortunate the students I serve, a lot of them, they don't, they come from impoverished areas. And so I always say kids who need the most love show the most unloving ways. So while I didn't birth them, I still feel like I'm there as a catalyst to kind of help support them and guide them when they need guidance. And so if I'm going to give them that, best believe I'm getting my kids that I birthed 100,000%.
There you go. Well, I think this was a good conversation tonight with OG Lott, a.k.a. the old lady.
Not the old
My
lady.
old lady.
I'm not an old lady. But
a.k.a. the wife, a.k.a. Val, a.k.a. Allie Val, a.k.a. B More Val, a.k.a. Western Dove, a whole bunch of a.k.a.s.
A bunch of a.k.a.s. What?
AKAs. They call you AKA, otherwise known as.
I thought she was about to say something.
Lord Jesus. Hey, y'all, this has been another episode of All Shit I'm 40, a special episode with my old lady, my wife, Miss Valerie Lott, LICSW, whatever abbreviations you got behind your name. There's a whole bunch of them because you just a beast.
Hey.
All right. So we'll catch y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all got something from it. And I'm telling you, peace out. Good night.
Peace out.